Hello, dear friends. It seems like everything is moving in a slow motion, but this transformation process is very complex. It's been going on for 18 years, and we are in the final phase. That's the good news. No one is obliged to listen to me or believe what I write. You may think I'm crazy or dismiss it as science fiction. But please don't insult me because I believe in what I say. Opinion piece. On the threshold of something big. The signs are clear. When the lock breaks, the world is changing. From darkness to light. The dominoes are falling. On the brink of a great event, controlled of underground tunnels, on the eve of something momentous. Let's start. Lately, you have been wondering about the signs that indicate you are on the verge of something great, something glorious. New capabilities, new skills, and it's true. There is a part of you that's tired of waiting, as you say, but you are not waiting. There is no such thing as sitting around doing nothing, waiting for the universe to bring you what's next. You are active in all of that. All timelines are your choice. What happens next is your decision, says Sanat Kumara through Rob Loveland. Despite what others think and even feel, the universe doesn't dictate what happens in your life. You do. The entire universe is within you, so everything is your decision. And as for that notion of waiting, there is no such thing. However, there is a time of preparation. You are preparing for what's coming. You are settling in. You are settling in, so to speak, calming your mind and opening yourself to new possibilities. You've noticed that the things and events that used to grab your attention have much less effect now. You are increasingly observing those kinds of events with a degree of detachment. This is a period to prepare yourself and decide what truly interests you, what you want for your life. Things that once held your attention and occupied your time no longer interest you. This is a state of preparation. You are preparing, so to speak. Yes. What you long for is on the horizon. It's coming. You take care of it. Just relax and enjoy what each day brings. Sing that beauty of the world that has been spoken of because it is fabulous. Allow yourself to be an experience and allow everything that comes to you to come in its own time, while the world collectively prepares itself. This is a complex task, for it involves all of humankind. That's why we came. That's what we are preparing for. Just allow it. Shift of consciousness. According to Baron Trump, planet Earth is entering a great shift in consciousness, the Great Awakening to Unity Consciousness. Mother Earth is returning as a circuit planet and taking with her all who choose to live. An unimaginable golden age is dawning, bringing prosperity, world peace, and the end of poverty, hunger, and debt. This is the transition from a world of survival to a world of abundance, respect, and unity. A new era begins as pain and suffering dissipate, an era of peace and prosperity, and a shared destiny for all. The Saint-Germain Trust is not a myth. It is the most repressed financial weapon in history. Trillions of dollars in physical gold and assets, secured for the people and hidden by the same elite families who built the modern system of debt slavery. For decades, it has been the target of attack, sabotage, and defamation. It is a multi-trillion-dollar, legally structured trust created to operate outside central banking control. Its purpose is full restitution, to eliminate national and personal debt, restore stolen generational wealth, provide monthly stipends, and fund systems that prioritize humanity, medical beds, real education, clean energy, and sovereign governance. Clear signs. The signs are clear. The sudden stumbles by BlackRock, the corporate confiscations under Executive Order 3848, the US 10 bonds linked to physical gold, the Vatican asset recovery, and the banking system's upgrade to ISO 20022, and that the QFS are not random events. They are indicators of a coordinated transition. This is financial warfare. It's not being fought in headlines, but in vaults, on digital ladders, in treasury audits, and in geophysical clashes. It is the dismantling of central banks, the end of foreign corporate taxes, and the exposure of centuries of theft. When the lock is broken, the world will witness the great transfer of wealth in human history. Not charity, but giving back. The mother of all bombshells is the global financial reset, backed by precious metals, with ISO 20022 currencies in circulation. It's not a speculation, it's deployment. All suppressed technology is liberated. All crime is declassified. Every soul is liberated. The revaluation rescue process has begun. Often discussed in hushed terms, it is an intriguing topic for many. Some believe it is a hidden goal agenda, while others see it as a path to financial salvation. The revaluation process has several stages that involve the revaluation of currencies intended to stabilize or strengthen a country's economy. These principles are universal and can be applied worldwide. Silence. Why is the media silent? Because they belong to the same circles now implicated. What we are witnessing is not a scandal, but the collapse of a regime. The Obama-era intelligence structure, the same one that launched Russiagate and buried Pizzagate, is being dismantled from within. The dominoes are falling globally. Japan is insolvent. The euro is at its lowest level in 30 years. Germany has frozen pensions, and the UK has blocked withdrawals from high net worth individuals. Central banks are crumbling. Their gold is gone. Their authority has been stripped away. More than 430 payments to the elite have been intercepted in Monaco, Singapore, and Tel Aviv. Vatican gold linked to trafficking networks has been seized and transferred to quantum vaults monitored by the Pentagon. The Space Force holds the keys to QFS encryption. Every legitimate transaction worldwide must pass through its quantum security rails or be rejected. More than 130 nations comply with GISRA requirements. The Internal Revenue Service is being dismantled, debt slavery is ending, and consumption-based transactions is poised to replace the old system. The so-called $2.5 trillion Fed overhaul was a panic bunker, and is now a crime scene. The public is asleep. Every speech, interview, and public appearance could be computer generated or a hologram. These illusions are so real that they have become normal. This is not a theory. It's a coordinated infiltration, not an invasion. The world stage is a puppet show, and the puppets aren't even human. Washington. Trump takes control of Washington, deploys the National Guard, federalizes the Metropolitan Police, and declares an all-out war of crime and corruption. Something is brewing in the Capitol. On August 11th, 2025, President Trump became the first president to invoke Section 740 of the Washington, D.C. Local Home Rule Act to federalize the Metropolitan Police Department and deploy the National Guard to the Capitol. This section grants the president the power to take direct control of local law enforcement in emergency situations, lasting up to 30 days unless both houses of Congress approve an extension. Trump claimed a public safety emergency in the city, describing it as mired in crime, chaos, and corruption. He declared his intentions was to liberate Washington and restore order. Pam Bondi will assume command of the Metropolitan Police Department. The mayor and the police chief pledged to cooperate with federal authorities during the intervention. 800 National Guard troops and 500 federal agents were deployed to reinforce security, and a promise was made to clean up the city, eventually expanding these actions to New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. All of this is occurring alongside new judicial investigations into Russiagate and announcements of accountability for conspiracies. The federalization of Washington, D.C. marks a fundamental fracture in the entrenched matrix of power, eliminating layers of autonomy and that protected dark side agents from accountability. Federalization reaffirms a direct presidential authority, aligning with plans for a new republic, a restored constitutional order in which the district once again becomes a purely administrative seat, free from the corporate municipal overlays established in 1871. Experts project that this will lead to the formal declaration of a new republic by the fourth quarter of 2025, in which states will regain sovereignty over unceded territories, echoing George Washington's vision of a popular model of government. Chess moves. Ismael Perez analyzes the geopolitical chess moves that will lead to lasting peace. The goal of all this is to collapse the shadow infrastructure. Perez argues that these chess moves are designed to bring about an unprecedented shift in global governance and the collapse of the shadow infrastructure that has controlled humanity for centuries. According to his analysis, the main objective of these maneuvers is to free the world from networks of corruption, organized crime, foreign infiltration, and hidden powers operating behind traditional systems such as government, the media, finance, religion, and science. Perez explains that the recent military deployment in Washington, under the framework of continuity of government and supported by senior military and intelligence officials, is a strategic cooperation aimed not only at restoring order, but also at dismantling the foundations of corruption, including the control of underground tunnels, the seizure of evidence, and the neutralization of key players in criminal networks. He calls this Liberation Day, and considers it the beginning of a purge called Operation Iron Resolve, the purpose of which is to extinguish the influence of clandestine organizations and facilitate the transition to more transparent and fair governance. In the international context, Perez highlights the importance of diplomatic meetings like the one planned between Trump and Putin in Alaska, which he interprets as a chess moves to end current armed conflicts, such as the war in Ukraine, thus promoting lasting peace. All of this, according to Ismail, will occur in parallel with the revelation of hidden truths and advanced technologies, which will ultimately allow humanity to awaken to higher levels of consciousness and freedom. Finally, he emphasizes that these strategic moves do not simply seek to remove corrupt individuals, but to tear down the framework that has sustained hidden power, paving the way for a new era characterized by greater transparency, unity, and collective sovereignty. Breaking news. Russia warns of massive efforts to stop Putin-Trump Mother of God summit in Alaska. Trump disables carbon spy satellites and dismantles weather monitoring agenda. Reuters reports that the Fed structure is changing. The future is just around the corner. US federal courts hacked. Millions of court documents, sealed indictments, witness IDs, etc., exposed and compromised. Donald Trump and the 88 prophecy. He installed an 88-foot flagpole at the White House. Israel prepares for the first red heifer sacrifice and the third temple in the end times prophecy. A new released document has revealed that Israeli intelligence had detailed knowledge of Hamas' plan to kidnap 250 people. The Pentagon launches Operation Ground Shield to seize CCP-controlled farmland near military bases. $1 billion project to build an electric spacecraft with a planned lifespan of 30 years by the Winnemucca Institute of Advanced Study. Ion propulsion is too slow and unresponsive enough for emergency evasive action. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.